Well, welcome to this is Sunday Live. I am trying out some streaming stuff. Hopefully, this is all working out good. I just got the camera set up, the audio set up, and it's really cool. I'm going to be doing a lot of content coming up about all sorts of things: education, not education, real life talks, faith, conservative talks, all kinds of stuff. But I wanted to kick things off as a test run today, um, since it is Sunday, and just go over some things that are happening in society to see if they've happened before or if similar stuff has happened before, and bring like a kingdom Christian perspective on it, because we get so much negative stuff, we get so much like fake news all the time. And I think this would be a great opportunity to just shed some light on present day life. Like, have there ever been evil and wicked leaders around? Has society ever been unhinged where anything goes? Has there been a time of persecution for your beliefs? Obviously, we know that's happened a lot, even with the Holocaust. More recently, very calculated attacks on children. Like, this is no coincidence what's going on. And this isn't the first time the world has seen this sort of behavior going on. And just to give you some perspective, like if I'm comparing this to the Bible about evil and wicked leaders, in the Bible times, they had Jezebel, Pharaoh, Nebuchadnezzar, and then the religious leaders that were around when Jesus was walking the earth. So there's always been evil and nasty, wicked leaders that have done just the most disgusting things, and society being unhinged. I mean, look at this, okay? Where anything goes. I mean, seriously, you think about today, you can be whatever gender you want to be. If you think you're a dog and you want to bark like a dog, you can be a dog. You can be a cat. You can be a squirrel. Heck, you can identify as a tree. None of this is normal behavior, at least not to me. I don't know what you think. I mean, feel free to write below and comment what you think, if that's normal behavior. But people have kind of been unhinged before. Society has been unhinged in the past. And you look at like Sodom and Gomorrah, Nineveh. That's where Jonah went to Nineveh because they were being all nasty. And then in Romans 1, the book of Romans, we hear about men having strange relationships with men and women having strange relationships with women and all kinds of nasty stuff. And so this sort of unhinged society has happened in the past. The difference is there was no TV, there were no smartphones, and people looked at it as being nasty from the outside. Now people from the outside look at crazy behavior like identifying as a dog as normal behavior. And it's not. And the whole transgender stuff, I mean, it's disgusting. Now, another thing going on right now is this whole like persecution for your beliefs. People are wondering, has it ever happened in the past where people have been persecuted for their beliefs? And to be quite clear, in America, people are being canceled and they're losing their jobs and they're being, kicked out of organizations and societies and stuff, for holding conservative values. But in the past, and even in present day, people were actually literally killed and murdered over their religious values, how they viewed life. I mean, you hear about it often, right? In the Middle East, where there are people killed for being Christians. It happens all the time. The Jews were almost wiped off the face of the earth for being Jewish. I mean, what the heck? I mean, so there's always been some sort of persecution going on. And you think about today, yes, the conservatives are being persecuted, but it's not to the extent of death. When you lose your job, you lose some friends, or you can maybe find another job or start a business, make some new friends. So it is a little different. But nonetheless, it's still persecution, and it's definitely happened before. And finally, there's like this calculated attack on children. And so the way I look at this is, for whatever reason, it's sick, twisted, and disgusting. And it's definitely of the devil, 100%. But all throughout time, somebody has wanted to kill lots of children. It's sick. You look at the story of Moses, where all the babies were being killed. And so Moses gets put into a basket in the river and then gets picked up by Pharaoh's daughter when he was a baby, escaping death. Then we hear about Jesus when he was born. They had to escape. His parent, Mary and Joseph, had to escape because Herod was wanting to kill all the babies because he heard that the king of the Jews was being born. And so they went to kill everybody. And most recently, Planned Parenthood, you think about this, 60 million babies they killed. What is the obsession with killing children? Well, every time there's an attack on kids, it's to prevent a deliverer from coming up. And so you think about this, if they would have been successful in killing Moses, would the Israelites have been let out of Egypt? If King Herod would have been successful in killing Jesus, would he have made it to the cross? And we think about Planned Parenthood, maybe there was somebody that is going to be birthed from an unplanned pregnancy, an unwanted pregnancy that's going to change the world, change America. These are things, I mean, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but I could be almost sure that the whole purpose of killing all the children in America, it's inspired by hell itself. I mean, they wanted to wipe, literally, Margaret Sanger said she wanted to wipe out Black people. And it's not even hidden. That's a fact. But, you know, for every evil and wicked event and tragedy that happens, there's always some sort of deliverance. There's always some sort of end. There's always some sort of hope that comes out of it. It's hard to see it. It really is, but it always ends up happening. And some of the last things I'm going to leave you with on this is like the trial run broadcast, by the way, for anyone watching or that sees this. This is the first live event I'm doing from my home studio that I've got set up, because I'm going to be starting this week a live show. This is just a Sunday live, you know, going over some like God stuff, keen perspective on real life issues. But the show that's going to be happening starting this week, I'm going to have special guests, some from Turning Point USA. Some people are CEOs of companies, lawyers, legal analysts, you name it, they're going to be on. We're going to talk about some awesome stuff. But today is the trial run. Make sure everything works, everything's good. And also to just get some content out there, some good stuff that people need to hear. But some of the last stuff I'll leave you with is this, right? The question is like, is it ever going to end? Does Joe Biden's reign of terror or ISIS or whoever, like, does the terror end? Well, according to the Bible, as long as the earth remains, seed time, harvest, cold and heat, winter and summer, day and night shall not cease. Like, what does that mean? Well, there's always things are going to happen seasonally. Stuff's going to happen. It's going to keep happening. As long as this earth is in existence, there are seasons that will take place and that will happen, and nothing is stopping that. The next thing is that this is a really interesting one right here, because it says that which has been is what will be, that which is done is what will be done. And there's nothing new under the sun. It kind of rhymes, actually. And it's a very interesting scripture verse. But when I hear people tripping out about Joe Biden or the Democrats or some crazy wicked thing or another murder, I always think, I say, well, you know, that this is not anything new that hasn't happened already before. People say, oh, it's never, this is the funny one, right? The climate change people, they go, oh, it's never rained this much before, because we have a hurricane and lots of rain and flooding. They go, oh, we've never had this much water. It's never flooded this much. It's like, yeah, it kind of has flooded before in the past. Or right now, the Mississippi River is really dried up and it's really shallow. And people say, wow, it's never dried up like this. It's never happened. We've never seen this sort of thing before. But in the 80s, there's records of that. In fact, long time ago, the Mississippi River actually froze over down south. And so it's just funny, because this is a practical application of, you know, there's nothing new under the sun. Stuff has happened in the past. It's going to happen again. It's just, life is cyclical. I love this because it really applies to the climate change activists. But even with like tragedy and calamity, you know, when it happens, like, I hate to say, like, you can expect it to happen. Like, life's not going to be easy. Life's not going to be life will not be perfect. Stuff will happen, but you'll be able to handle it. So for all the climate change activists listening, you can handle it. Another quick thing that I wanted to read is that to everything there's a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. There's a time to fight. There's a time to not fight. There's a time to cry. There's a time to be happy. There will be times of being happy. Right now, we're in a very strange time in the United States, strange time at home. It's just strange. Everything's weird. Okay. This is a season of weirdness. Will the weird season end and we get some relief? I think so. I think we'll have some relief very soon. But right now, the time is to, I think, push back and to be strong, because that's the purpose for this time right now. Do we just get in the fetal position and run away, or do we cry? Do we get sad? Do we be depressed? No, I think right now, the season for right now, the purpose for right now is to really dig in and push back against all the nonsense that's happening. It really is. And then I have this final thing that I'm going to leave us with. It's another scripture from the Bible. You may have heard this before, maybe you haven't, but all things work together for the good of those who love God, to those who are called according to his purpose. So this is a promise for anyone who's a Christian that believes in Jesus, that no matter what happens, you lose your job, you lose your money, you lose your friends, calamity happens to your life, bad things happen to you, God will find a way to turn that situation around and use it for your good. It might not look like it right now, it might not look like it. I know I lost my job. Didn't look good in the moment, but I do love God and I'm called. And I believe that he has turned that around for my good. And I've seen good come out of that. And I think you will as well. So this is the first ever live stream test run, Sunday Live. Hope you enjoyed some of this. Make sure that you like, share, follow. If you're on YouTube watching this, subscribe. We're going to have a ton of content coming out. You're going to be able to see stuff on Instagram, TikTok. Yeah, that's right. The China app, TikTok, Facebook, and did I say Twitter? And Twitter. It's going to be all over the place. Got a really awesome team of people working on some things, and it's going to be great. So I will see all of you really soon, especially tomorrow. Make sure if you're up in the morning, you're going to see the live stream happening. That is going to be awesome. And just to give you a little teaser, some of the guests that I have confirmed for the show, let me pull this up because I got a long list of awesome people that have confirmed. Some of them are very big names. You're going to recognize right off the bat. Some of them not so big, but still very impactful and influential in the United States of America. So just give me 1 second. I will find these people. All right, you ready? Here's some of the committed. Oh, goodness. Where is it? Got to go to my messages and find this. I made a list, right? Because I have to have my schedule. All right, some of the confirmed committed guests that have said they're going to come on the show: John Root of Turning Point USA, Todd White, Lifestyle Christianity, Morgan McMichael, Turning Point USA, Reverend John, I don't even know how to say his name, Aman Chuku Sr., he's from Turning Point Faith. He's the viral Black pastor father that was condemning a school board for spending $1 million on equity, but yet not investing any money into improving math skills in the school system. Mike Yoder, he's the CEO of Optic Strategies. Isabel Brown from Turning Point USA. And we're going to have Joe Bob from Daily Caller as well come on here. Really awesome group of people. So y'all, please follow the page, share my stuff, stay with it. A lot of great, awesome things coming up. And yeah, I'll see you real soon. This has been the first ever live stream with me. See ya.